Alright, that's the one. Hello, everybody! It is me, Zachary Van Zyl, and today we're going to be reviewing TOME because I'm the most epic cartoon reviewer on the internet. Alright, episode 6, the best damn episode in the whole series, and I ain't April fooling you about that one. So, this episode is really strong because it has a nice beginning, middle, and end. But there are some iffy moments too that I just really want to talk about. Like right here, this little the little blue thing. It's one of those artificially cute characters I was talking about in my previous reviews. But this time it's one of those kid who has an unrealistically high pitched voice characters. Also, this character just has some of the worst voice acting in the series. I hate it. Well, I mean, like, it's better than Curvers at least. Am I right, folks? Zach, put some funny audience sound effects in there. Alright, now here at this point, once again, Curb is the worst part of this episode by coming out and actually saying TLDR, which for all of you non-techies out there stands for too long didn't read, which is completely fucking stupid to put into regular audible conversation. Now, this whole debate or little scene with Kurfer, Nylock, and all of them, it's an interesting scene to analyze because in his commentaries through his Fact Bubble specials, he mentioned that he was making when he was making this episode, he was going through a tough time, and in one of his Curb blogs, he was talking about like dealing with yourself or some shit, and he mentions that he talks without thinking sometimes. Well, I mean, he does think, but he just says it anyways, like, whatever. And sometimes he gets too comfortable with his friends and he says some pretty offensive shit to them. So, I have a feeling he's retelling some of his darker parts through his life through Tome, whether or not these things are based off of real life or not. These characteristics Curb shows in the show and that Curb talks about in his Curb blogs are very similar. Pretty much confirming at this point that Curb for the character is a self-insert of himself. And in this scene, I like how Nylock is trying to keep Curb cheered up while staying in character. It's also alien to him, and you can just feel it in this scene. And I actually really like that. I also like how he with his shitty weeaboo katana. Always a funny little joke. Oh yeah, the line, "Nothing like a relaxing sit in a virtual park, eh?" is one of my favorite lines in the whole series because of how silly and retarded it is. Like, okay, all right, Zach, cut out retarded. That's a little bit too offensive. I always like how silly and stupid it sounds. Oh, now this next scene, it is pure Kino. It is definitely Curbifer's magnum opus of this whole series and his entire animation career. Like, this is what I like to see in an emotional scene, not some cheap edgy anime cutouts, but actual human emotion and struggle. I actually feel bad for Nai and his hardships that he's going through, and he doesn't actually have anything to say about his real life. It's all like kept ambiguous, and trust me, a little bit of ambiguity can go a long way for what it does for it just does wonders for his character and stuff like that. Also, I want to say that Lil Karibo knocks it out of this part of the scene really well. I can just feel the actual emotion instead of fake ones copied and pasted from every shitty anime for like every scene with this goddamn series. Alright. Where was I? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, the line where he says, "I guess I just block out anything that interrupts my sense of fun." Curbs the same way. This line also gets me because it says a lot about both characters, how they're both similar yet so different. It also gives us some insight to Kerbifer as a person himself. Curb as a character always just kinds of seemed to stand out in his own way. He doesn't really pair together with any of the other characters or have any like chemistry with the others. Hell, he's the odd one out when it comes to pairs in the tournament. Also, he's the one who has to go out by himself and get that fragment in Fraggled Quest. The friends really just kind of put up with him, save for Nai, who seems to actually care about him. Even though he has all these friends, he's really truly all alone. This message becomes even more clear when you have to consider that he's also, spoiler alert, when he's also Zeto and has to fight these guys all the time. Like, whew, Jesus Christ, Tome just got really fucking deep. Whoo! Alright. And then when he says, "I understand how he feels, and I want to help him," the sign just makes me feel like Nai is like less of a self-insert and more of the kind of person Curb wants to be. Or at least that's what I interpret it as. And then at this point, another reason why I like this episode is that it features the characters with the two most separate and contrasting voices, and they pair out cut that out. They just work really well together. And at this point, you can see that his smile and optimism is restored. It's more fun to see characters get back on their feet than brood for like 3 to 4 episodes. And it's just fun to see the characters happy again after such a dramatic scene. It's a really good emotional transition for the audience and us. And now we have another shitty music sequence. Though I gotta really commend Karibo here for doing the best he did for what he had to work with, and by that I mean Curb's shitty songwriting. I mean, seriously, listen to him sing. He has a pretty good vibrato, except for one point in the song where it's pretty flat. Oops. Oh yeah, and there's also some imported animations, like one of them by Zuriel, who he's a top-notch animator. I'll say that much. And then, ooh, there's one point where Nylock's dick is like really huge and in the face of the little kid. Oh, jeez, Ny, put that thing away. There are kids around here, man. And then during the climax of the episode, I don't really know why the cat thing is fighting them, but I guess we need some action thrown in. And then when GC says, "Just try and kill me, you'll find it impossible." Now that is some pretty good foreshadowing for the finale. Ooh. And I really have no idea why this sequence needs to be in a pencil sketch. It's just really jarring to do in the middle of the night, and not to mention just kind of ruins the artistic flow. Shit. Zach, cut that out. I really have no idea why this sequence in particular needs to be a pencil sketch. It's really just so jarring to do in the middle of the fight, not to mention it ruins the artistic flow. And then, really blue-balling us with those cheap wins curve. Just saying, "Oh, she ran away." I mean, come on. That's such a stupid fucking cop-out. Especially after such a wonderfully delivered speech. Like, come the fuck on. Give my... give my man that a win. That needs a win, man. Give my man that a win. Please, come forward, please. Cut that joke out. That's not exactly PC. Please cut that joke out, Zach. All right. But yeah, this episode was actually pretty good. I could actually sit down, watch it, be entertained, which is all I ask animation to do. And then short 4, minigame madness. So yeah, I accidentally skipped this short first time around while taking notes on it. So yeah, here we go. Whitey's voice just sounds more high pitched and more grating the more I hear it. Soon she'll be just like the blue little fox girl, and special voice cameo, I think. It kind of sounds like that Ronaldo guy from the Parody Rangers Curver did a while back. I mean, he has a lot of voice acting buddies, so I'm sure he reused him, I guess. And then there's Naruto sound effects during one of the games, which is kind of weird. And then what's funny is that Kerfer took a picture, I think, of like his desk for one of the the background of one of the bootleg games, which is nice touch. I like it. And then yeah, we got Fruit Ninja. I thought that would be come a thing in the past in the year 2020, but I guess people still play Fruit Ninja in 2020, even though it's 2019 and Fruit Ninja is basically a thing of the past and people play Fortnite now. All right, next. Oh yeah, during one of the during one of the parts of the mini games, fuck. During one point, one of the girls plays a mini game, and there's a score that says 9001, and that meme was dated even when this episode came out. So fuck off! off, dude. um. So yeah, the short kind of sucks, but we got some cute poses out of the girls that were pretty exploitable for me to draw porn of. Though I probably shouldn't say that because Curb for he openly encourages porn of his series. So yeah, I would draw porn in spite of Tome, but he'd probably like it. Worse, he might masturbate to it. And the thought of Kerbifer masturbating to my work is one of the scariest goddamn things I have ever thought of in my entire life. Alright, let's start with episode 7. Ooh, today's gonna be... Wait, yeah. Ooh, today's gonna be a rough one. That term gets thrown around quite a bit this episode, and I think that would have been a better title than infectuation. But that isn't really a criticism, just an opinion. And now I realize that I'm sinking to CinemaSins levels, so I better swim back up before it's too late. And in this episode, we get Chris and Zach's cameo here. And according to the Sleepy Podcast, along with Corey Spazkid, they admitted they were too hard on Curb and they eventually apologized to her. So I guess to make up for it, they cameoed in this show. It gives me like a Kappa Mikey feeling seeing them in the show like this. Like, the styles of Tome and Chris and Zach just clash so hard. And what I also find funny is that the only person who hasn't apologized for his paragraph-long criticisms for Tome, like on Newgrounds, was Egoraptor. You can still find it on Newgrounds, and you know, I respect him a little bit for that. He was trying to help, and damn it, this man's gotta stand his ground, even if he doesn't do animation anymore and plays video games for possibly the rest of his life. So, what the hell is this character's problem? Fucking Archie? I've never seen a more useless character in a series. He's just there to fill up a spot for Curb and Attorney, and this kid's nervousness feels like even more fake than Alpha's. Like, it's just trying so fucking hard to be anime. It hurts, and I hate it. But, oh, shit. Yeah, they bond by the fire a bit, and, oh yeah, and then, and then you hear the guitar strumming, and then, ooh, once you hear that guitar strumming, you know who it is. It's our token Mexican character. This dude is, this dude is pretty much, 4Kids Mennonite, and also a stalker. Oh yeah, and I forgot that he goes into virus mode one more time, and that's what this episode pretty much focuses on. But I mean, like, when an episode is like wedged in between the dragon drama and the absolute train wreck of the tournament arc, you forget a lot of stuff, like I am today. So yeah, there's a lot of emotional whiplash for stupid jokes that aren't funny. Parts that are supposed to be cute, but I don't know. And then we're right back into the action, and they don't really serve much purpose. They're just kind of and I mean, it's kind of funny how Curfer has the Mexican use jumping as his main means of moving. I mean, is that strike three yet? Is that strike three yet? Maybe. I don't know. I'll go easy on him just this once and say 2.5. And even though it's really funny to hear the chuckle fucks that are Chris and Zach talk, it really messes with the immersion and the emotions I'm supposed to be feeling with this whole episode and actually scenes. Yeah. 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 And I know like this part is supposed to be like him doing T poses in video games, but just having him come out of the fissure in the ground like that, it really just looks like him rising again, like Jesus. Like it's just weird Jesus symbolism. Oh, now it's time to explain the hair removal scene. Oh man, first of all, this is just a trope ripped from anime once again. The girl removing her long hair and getting short hair. And second, Curfer didn't know that cutting your hair in Japan. Alright, what Curfer doesn't know is that in Japan, cutting your hair is symbolism for starting over again. And, becoming a new person. And this is evident because, like, well, it's evident that he doesn't know about this because she just pretty much stays the same. She has the same almost non-existent personality still the whole time, even after this episode and onward out. I mean, there wasn't anything. Alright, so there wasn't anything bad or good about her personality before. And after the haircut, she doesn't gain anything bad or good. She just stays on a same neutral slate. Nothing changes. This haircutting, it wasn't needed at all. Third, in the commentary, he said he did this to remove her hair swirlies, which is that's an absolutely ridiculous decision because it was one of the few things that gave her it made her character stick out. But now that she has short hair, it's just kind of. But yeah, now she just looks like generic demon girl number 521. Why don't you just give her some, short swirlies or something? Or, yeah, maybe make her hair, I don't know, shorter, but keep the hair swirls, like, somewhere in there. Maybe just give her one hair swirl. I don't know. It just looks like a fucking downgrade. But nope. Curb just wanted to take all the shortcuts he could so he could churn these shits out as soon as possible. So, yeah, it's a forgettable episode. I forget about it every time I marathon it. And there's a lot of animation in it. Like, lots of, like, actual things, like keyframes and stuff. And lots of, a lot less tweening. So, that's alright. Yeah. And I mean, there were a lot of times where it just felt like these guys were snapping into place, and it wasn't really, the animation in this episode wasn't really fluid. It just felt kind of robotic. No, really, not much really. What's it called? I forget, something in React. Act and React. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, not a lot of that in the animation in this episode. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. So thanks for Thanks for listening to this review of Tome, episode 6 and 7. Join me next time for when I review episode 8 and 9. Oh boy, it's gonna get shit. God damn it, I got a lot of fucking God damn it, I got a lot of fucking editing to do this episode. Motherfucker! God damn it!